Good morning, traders. I'm Emily Bonney, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Tuesday, July 29th. A win's a win and the streak continues. The S&P 500 inched out another record close to start the week. During regular trading, the S&P 500 picked up just 1 point to end another session in record territory. The NASDAQ also closed in the green, up 70 points or 0.33%. The Dow ended in the red, off 64 points or 0.14%. Bill, let's get into today's action with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Hi, yes, good morning, Emily. I'm watching the S&Ps. We're higher. We're up 0.28%. That's good. I like to see that. I mean, there's a lot of catalyst events going on starting today. I mean, the key events that we're looking at, U.S.-China trade talks. That's going to be a key one. The start of the Federal Reserve two-day policy meeting, and of course, earnings are on the table as well. I mean, those U.S.-China talks. Listen, it's almost predestined. They're going to walk away with a 90-day extension, a 90-day pause from the August 8th, which was also a 90-day pause. They're going to continue that. That's what's going to be driving these markets. They're going to be happy with that. Other trading partners, I'm talking Canada, Mexico, South Korea, Taiwan. They're yet to secure agreements. That's going to be an issue. Turning to the Fed, we get the policy meeting starting today, and guess what? It's likely you're going to see a directional shift. They're going to be a little more dovish when they come out tomorrow, is my expectation. Remember, they're not expected to lower interest rates at this meeting, but they are expected to do 2 rate cuts in 2025. They have ample ground to not cut rates, but I still think they're going to start cutting rates in September. There's no Fed meeting in August. Remember, there's the Jackson Hole event instead. In terms of economic data, the trade deficit, the international trade in goods data for June, that's going to be a key one that's coming out pre-market. On the earnings front, I'm seeing weakness in SWK, RCL, SPOT, UNH and CARR, CARR. They're all trading a little lower after earnings announcements. But what is moving this morning on earnings? Boeing is showing some nice strong gains. After the bell today, we got earnings coming out from Visa, Starbucks, Mondelez, Electronic Arts, and QRVO. They're all scheduled to release. Turn our attention over to Europe, and you know what? You look at these European markets, and they are trading higher this morning. For example, we're looking at the DAX, and the DAX is showing a strong gain. It's up 279 points, or 1.17%. The FTSE in London is trading higher by 0.6%, and the CAC in Paris is up 1.26%. Eurozone inflation fell to 2.6 in June, the lowest in 4 months. That's a positive. Seen some gains in financial stocks, obviously. Turn our attention over to Asia, and Asia was mixed there. I'd call it mixed to lower. The Nikkei fell 323 points. They got a BOJ meeting coming up this week. That's 0.8%. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng, it finished lower by 0.15% or 37 points. But China, the Shanghai market rose 0.33%. Trade talks are still in focus in China, and they also have their Politburo meeting going on where an additional stimulus announcement is expected. Tech stocks saw some positive action in the Chinese market. And then turn our attention over to oil. Oil is trading higher, slightly higher. WTI is up 14 cents a barrel to $66.85. Brent is at $70.15. We saw a big gain yesterday because Trump warned Russia that it is 10 to 12 days to comply or face 100% secondary tariffs, which is raising concerns with respect to supply. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But crude oil trading slightly higher this morning. And that's what I have for you in terms of a morning market update, Emily.
Bill, we are watching any trade developments, as you mentioned, especially those with China. The FOMC meeting starts today with that announcement on monetary policy due out tomorrow, along with commentary from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. And as you mentioned, a number of earnings have been released and some to look ahead to. So we will kick it off with earnings. Bill, what is going on in terms of earnings action?
Got to start with Boeing, ticker BA, boy, Apple. I mean, the fact is they beat by 16 cents and they delivered 150 jets this quarter. It was all positive. You look at shares of Boeing, they're up over 1% this morning. Then we got the United Healthcare, UNH, Uncle Nancy Henry. They missed by 37 cents. They did it on higher revenue. They cut guidance. I mean, the stock's down 1.3% this morning. Not good. Procter & Gamble, ticker PG, they beat by 6 cents. They did it on higher revenue. Stock's up, 0.88% this morning. Then you got, the other one that we should mention is Corning, ticker GLW, Grace Larry William. They beat by 3 cents. They did it on higher revenue. Corning's GLW's trading higher this morning. That's nice to see. It's up 4.58%. Upcoming after the bell today, you got Starbucks, SBUX, Samboy, Uncle X-Ray. Their EPS is 67 cents. The expected move is 6.88%. Visa's also releasing after the bell. Their EPS is $2.86. Expected move is 3.53% when they release after the bell today. Emily.
Bill, Corning was specifically worth mentioning because that was your pick of the day yesterday, up more than 4% this morning. We may have given it away, but we will do a full recap on that pick of the day by the end of the show. Now on to the day's economic events. You did at least point to one economic report today, and then there are a few others that are definitely worth noting. So Bill, what is going on in terms of the day's economic events?
Yeah, there's a number of reports due out today. I mean, the 8:30 a.m. you get international trade in goods. That's the trade deficit. Then at 9 a.m. you get the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. At 10 a.m. you get the Conference Board's consumer conference data. That's going to be an interesting one. I expect it to come in positive. And then at 10 a.m. you have the JOLTS report, which is really a lagging indicator. So I guess that's why I'm saying the trade deficit's going to be the hottest one. But realistically, when you think about economic events, all eyes are on the Fed, and the Fed is coming across rather dovish. I mean, we don't expect them to cut rates. We do expect Governors Bauman and Waller to dissent because they're going to ask for rates to be cut. But this is more political in nature. This is not really what they're feeling because inflation is ebbing higher, so there makes sense to stand pat on it, but we do expect a rate cut in September. Right now, I mean, the odds of a rate cut for this July meeting is like 3.1%. So there's no expectations that is going to happen. But that's what I have for you in terms of a morning market economic update, Emily.
And Bill, as you pointed out, it's not just the latest announcement, but really getting a feel on the commentary of what the Fed may be doing next in future meetings. Important data to be watching there. And you're still watching other news, data, and information using your NewsWare. You're breaking it down into alerts to follow things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, buyback news, and catalyst calls. You're also looking at your stocks grouped together, like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks. So, Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
Just doing a quick data check. I'm looking at my Dow stocks. I got 17 higher, 10 lower, and 3 unchanged. I'm looking at my FANG stocks. I'm seeing a little weakness in Apple, Google, and Tesla. But strength is being shown in Netflix, Meta, and Amazon. So that's positive. Apple's going to close their Chinese retail store. This is going to be the first Apple store closure. That's kind of important news. Tesla, Elon Musk said SpaceX Starship is going to start launching again next month. Okay, we'll see. In terms of Dow Jones 30 stocks, we want to talk Amazon for a second. The Trump organization is suing Amazon, eBay, and Walmart, and they're claiming that they were selling knockoff Trump merchandise. Because you want to buy Trump hat or something, you're supposed to buy it at a rally. But if they're selling it, they don't have the rights to sell it. So there's some patent issues there. In terms of Merck, ticker MRK, Merck plans $3 billion in annual cost cuts. You know why? Keytruda, their blockbuster drug Keytruda, is facing a patent cliff. I mean, when that patent expires, everybody's going to be making a Keytruda type drug. So yeah, you got to be a little bit worried about that if you're Merck. If you look at shares of markets down around 4.35% this morning. In terms of Merger news: Union Pacific. They reached a deal, an $85 billion deal to take over North Fork Southern, NSC. Nancy, Sam, Charlie. We're talking guidance news. We're talking Whirlpool. Last night, WHR, William Henry Richard. They cut their full year 2025 guidance view to $6 to $8. Street estimate had it at $9.06. That's a big cut. That's very negative. United Healthcare, UNH, they see full year 2025 adjusted EPS of at least $16. However, the street estimate's $20.90. Big downtick there. UNH, you look at shares of UNH, are down 1.81% this morning. In terms of shareholders meetings going on, CRUS, Charlie, Richard, Uncle Sam. Cirrus Logic is having a shareholders meeting today. It starts at noon Eastern time. In terms of buyback, Northern Trust, NTRS, Nancy, Tom, Richard, Sam, they announced a $2.5 billion stock repurchasing plan. That's nice to see. In terms of catalyst events going on, there's talk that the Trump administration is mulling charging patent holders 1% to 5% fee, which is very negative for drug stocks because they're the ones that need these patents. If the Trump administration starts charging for patents on a percentage basis, that could be some big negativity for drug stocks. So a bit of Johnson & Johnson's trading a little lower this morning already. But that's what I have for you in terms of news hitting the tape this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. We've now made it to that time of the show for the Trade Talk Pick of the Day. Bill, what is your pick of the day today?
Going to go with Wingstop, ticker WING, William India, Nancy Grace. Earnings are due out. I guess tomorrow morning. EPS is 87 cents. Expected move is 12.96%. Yesterday's call volume was positive. You have 714 calls versus 422 puts. Open interest wasn't. Open interest, you get 9,691 on the call side, 12,145 on the put side. So it's not hitting all my data points, but it's hitting enough of them. The major brokers are positive on the stock. They have been raising price targets. That's good to see. But I want to get in 290 or under here. It's bid 290.50 right now. So I'm hoping to get in, 290 or under this morning with the little rally towards the end of the day. If I get my 1% during the day, I'm going to take it and walk away. But that's my pick of the day. Wingstop, ticker WING. I'm saying under 290, Emily.
Wingstop on an earnings play. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, you had an earnings play yesterday. And in just a moment, we will do a check-in on that pick of the day. But ahead of that, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
CRH, Charlie Richard Henry, said to be nearing a 2.1 deal for Echo Material. Mars to invest $2 billion in U.S. manufacturing through 2026. PayPal, PYPL. The CEO says PayPal World going live beginning in the fall. SYY, Cisco sees full year 2026 adjusted EPS $4.50 to $4.60. Street estimates $4.70. That's a downtick. SRPT, Serapina. These guys got an FDA recommendation lifting the hold on one of their gene therapy drugs for ambulance use, which is positive. That's all I'm seeing this morning.
Okay, Bill, before we prepare for the opening bell today, let's do that check-in on yesterday's pick of the day. I pointed it out earlier in the show was Corning, ticker GLW. As you told us, they did report earnings this morning. They reported a Q2 EPS of 60 cents that did beat the analyst estimates by 3 cents. Revenue for the quarter came in at $4.05 billion versus the consensus of $3.86 billion. The company did credit AI with the fourfold Q2 net increase, and they do see more growth in Q3. The stock is up as high as $58.80 this morning is what I caught. How did your call work out?
It worked out really well. The fact of the matter is the stock opened up yesterday at $55.55. That was high. And it fell down to $54.92. remember, I was saying, listen, you want to get in somewhere between 55 and 55 50. So let's just call it 50.25. But the stock did wind up closing at $55.41. So that was a nice gain. But this morning after the earnings, I mean, the stock is just railing. It's up 5.58% to 58.50 right now. So yeah, is the 1% there? Absolutely. I mean, it was there. The opportunity was more than there, and the gains are still holding. So Corning GLW was a winner today, Emily. Winner, winner.
We're rallying for a win today there, Bill, and we will check in with you tomorrow about today's wing stock pick of the day. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning at NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.